viewers. Welcome to this night session, and we have a lot of news, interesting news for you. And of course, as tensions in the border, start escalating, sources in the country's military establishment told a news agency ANI on Wednesday that the Pakistani Navy vessels, including its frigates and submarines, have already positioned themselves in their respective harbors in the sea to be able to tackle any possible Indian movement. Yes. Meanwhile, the Pakistan Air Force has reduced flying operations by over 50%, and only essential operations are being conducted to avoid confusion in the airspace. Earlier, faced with mounting global pressure, a jittery Pakistan leadership resorted to accusations against India following the deadly Pahalgam incident that killed 26 people. The Federal Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Tarar, Ataullah Tarar, I can't pronounce that name very well, had issued a statement claiming that Pakistan has credible intelligence suggesting India plans to launch a military action against the nation within the next 24 to 36 hours. In a post on X, Tarar wrote, Pakistan has credible intelligence that India intends to carry out military action against Pakistan in the next 24 to 37 hours on the pretext of baseless and concocted allegations of involvement in the Pahalgam incident. Now, the security forces located the Pahalgam attackers at least 4 times in different spots over the past 5 days, and they came very close to cornering them in the forests of South Kashmir, and on one such occasion even exchanged fire with them, the Indian Express has learned. The terrorists were located through information obtained from local residents. Intelligence inputs and combing operation sources said it's a cat and mouse game. There have been moments where they've been visibly located, but by the time they could be engaged, they had escaped. The forests are very thick and it's not easy to chase someone even after visibly locating them. But we're sure we'll get them. It's only a matter of days, an officer from the military establishment told the newspaper. Now, the big news from Pakistan's side is that Pakistan has refused to take back its own citizens who have been deported from India. Now, as you know, tensions have escalated at Atari as Pakistan has shut its gates. Now, as all of you know, Pakistan has stooped to a new low. Security at the Atari post has been heightened amid sudden and unexplained refusal from the Pakistani side. But then you remember, even in 1999, Kargil war, Pakistanis refused to accept their own soldiers' bodies. Meanwhile, now the latest news is that the Pakistani army chief has started visiting the rangers on the front line to boost morals of soldiers. And on India's side, India has blocked Instagram accounts of actresses, Pakistani actresses like Mahira Ali and Hania and many others. So I noticed that some channels also like Pakistani channels which show serials have also they are not working. So which means they may be also blocked, which is very good news coming from India's side. So this is one thing, friends, that you notice that because they are refusing to take their own citizens back, they think that India will be forced to take these Pakistanis back. But they expect India to be soft, and I'm sure Modi has other things in mind, and if they refuse, he'll have some other plans. So let me just take a few comments. Welcome Manjeet, and good evening, says Meenaji and Jayadev along with viewers. Missed your sessions this week due to deadlines, but so happy to finally join today. Welcome always, Meera. Pusak says good evening Gloria, and good evening P. Divya, good evening. Manjit says, oh yes, but these people are blaming India. Welcome Minnie, always nice to see you. And Shiv says, why caste census now? Is BJP trying to divide Hindus? Only time will tell. Now, meanwhile, friends, you remember when, Deepika, the main problem in India is our Bollywood actors. And, these all the people who are, sort of mouthpieces for Pakistan. You remember when it was the protest that Deepika made against the CAA, and she said that hum kaagaz nahi dikhayenge. She joined the gang and actively helped provide cover for illegal Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, and Rohingyas by protesting against CAA. That itself, you can understand what is her character. When celebrities side with infiltrators, the real threat isn't across the border, it's already among us. And Deepika Padukone showed that very, very clearly. And how much money was she paid? Apparently, and allegedly, she was paid 5 crores for this appearance. So, when a woman like her doesn't stand for India, why the hell is she in our country at all? Is the question. CAA and all are done after much deliberation by Narendra Modi and his team, and they've done a lot of thinking before they have put it out. What does she think? Is Narendra Modi and his team against India? What is she thinking? And is she the second Prime Minister of India? So these are people who should be not only boycotted, they should be banned and thrown out of India. But ma'am, there are people working in the Gulf who get insight of all our programs and ultimately forward them to their relatives in Pakistan. Yes, absolutely. And also, friends, see, please understand that, whenever you think, these people are putting as many shots on Facebook and other places, social media, to make you sympathize with the Pakistani people who came into India illegally and continue to, be Pakistanis and marry into Indian families, Indian Muslim families, and grow their families, and also to, grab land. So when you think of this, please do not sympathize with them, because always think of what happened in Pahalgam and how many innocent citizens were killed. And it was all a planned attack with everybody from the tourist department. All of them, seem to be in connivance. So these things should come out. Because if a person says Allahu Akbar before this man drives on the ziplock, that means that they were all aware of it. And he was merrily taking pictures when these terrorists were shooting people. How can they do it? What kind of people are they? Is the question. And then after that, you have the whole of Bollywood and all these people putting, sort of shots. And even Vani Kapoor had the guts to, say that she's not bothered about all the people blaming her for her, role with Fahad Khan from Pakistan. So these people are all, Deshdrohis is what I would say. And she's not least bothered. Now she is posing with Ajay Devgan and Ritesh Deshmukh for their next movie, Raid 2. Please kindly block this woman and don't even see her movie. So the most humorous thing is that Pakistan has refused to take their own citizens. I don't know. We've never seen a country that refuses its own citizens when a turmoil like this happens. They should be the first ones to give them shelter and hope. And Gloria says India has been a soft target for the longest time. No more. Now enough is enough. And Deepak says all these traitor Bollywood actors should be shipped out to Pakistan. Thaliwali should be the first one on the list. Of course, and her, tagged with, onto her sari should be Lambuji also, who tweets numbers, as if they're code words for Pakistan to understand that Lambuji is with them. Because see, ultimately, how do they make money? They make money by Nach Gana in Pakistani weddings in London, and all these rich businessmen who have got all this money, laundering business. They go and dance with it. Whether it's Anil Kapoor and his full family, Sonam and her husband and everybody dancing, including Anil Kapoor and Shah Rukh Khan and all that. This is their job. This is how they make money. And I am not surprised to know that today there was a news that Shah Rukh Khan is the 4th richest actor in the world. So I don't know whether this is true, but from where he's getting the money when all his movies are flopping is also a huge question, And yes, Bollywood always has its own hidden agenda, which is not so hidden anymore after SSR's murder, says Meera. Absolutely, well said, Meera. And Vinny says we must block all the Bollywoodians. Welcome, Sanju. Always nice to see you. And Leena, we always love to have your presence with us. So this is something, friends, that's happening, and it's very, very, sad that inside India itself we have so many Deshdrohis. And then you have this suddenly this some uh, festival is happening in Bombay called Waves, and you see all the cabal together, and none of them have so much of intelligence, but they're all having lot of sessions, intellectual sessions. God alone knows what they're talking about. Everything except terrorism is what I understand. Sanju says, very true, man. Coming live after a long time. Still watch all your recorded videos. Thank you so much for supporting us, Sanju. Dina says he has his properties in London and in USA in the most posh areas. And Milburn says the persecution of all faiths besides their cult is going to escalate in a very big way. Please stay alert, everyone, and don't hesitate to report anything suspicious. Yes, this is a very strong message coming from Milburn. Bollywood have always been anti-Hindu and anti-India, without doubt. Now everyone can see the clear picture of what Bollywood represents. Yes, we absolutely, and we missed your presence a lot. I hope you become more regular. And Sanju says all the Bollywood movies are flop. I recently saw a video of Shahid Kapoor dancing at some wedding. Also, the latest news is that the so-called big Bollywood show of Salman Khan in UK has been postponed. Bollywood days are truly over. And Ree says, Meena man, friends, hello, all total boycott. Yes, absolutely. Only South Indian films are running in North, also like Pushpa, Marco. And Vinayak says the cult is about 30% now. It's almost over. Tough time ahead. Absolutely. And now what Amit Shah is saying is that the fight is not over. We will not spare even a single terrorist, is what he said. His very strong message on Pahalgam. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday warned terrorists involved in the Pahalgam attack that they should not think that they have won the war. In his first public remark following the Pahalgam event, the fight is not yet over. Terrorists should not think that after killing our 27 people, they have won the war, he said. Speaking at an event in Assam, he said every single terrorist will be sought after and punished for killing civilians in Pahalgam, and said that Narendra Modi government will approve terrorism and respond to the Pahalgam terror attack. So these were some of the comments that Amit Shah made. And apparently, Donald Trump has also warned terror backers of consequences. The US State Department, after the Pahalgam event, reiterated its tough stand on terrorism, with the State Department warning that countries or entities supporting terror will face consequences under the Trump administration. The statement echoes US President Donald Trump's pledge to hold accountable those who aid or shelter terrorist groups. The remarks amid heightened tensions between India and Pakistan after the Pahalgam terror attack, in which terrorists from and trained in Pakistan killed 26 people. And he said, as the president of the US POTUS has made very clear, under the Trump administration, there will be consequences for those who support terrorism. And this is what the US State Department said in a tweet. Now, moving on to, of course, this is something that you can expect from the judiciary. Don't be surprised. Okay. Now, apparently, Jammu and Kashmir High Court stays the deportation of 4 suspected Pakistani citizens. Whenever the country is doing something patriotic, our judiciary, who has, recently they had a lot of cash in one of the judges' houses, and we don't know where this cash came from and who are the corrupt judges. Now, the Jammu and Kashmir High Court on Thursday stayed the deportation of 4 members of a public suspected of being Pakistani citizens. The suspect includes a police constable of the Indian Reserve Police IRP. The 4 suspects were reportedly at the risk of being deported from India on allegations that they were Pakistani citizens. The court found that a prima facie case has been made out. The petitioners were bona fide residents of Poonch, Jammu and Kashmir. This development came after the Union government had decided to suspend visa services to Pakistani nationals and directed them to leave India by April 27th in wake of the event. According to the Barron bench, Justice Rahul Bharti observed that there was sufficient material including revenue documents and police records to show that a prima facie case is in the petitioner's favor. So now here again, I do not trust the judiciary, especially after the Judge Verma corruption case, the notes being found, when the fire happened. So I do not trust them at all. And when people like Riya Chakrabarti and her gang are, given free, access to go anywhere and wherever, see, how can you even trust them? They have not even asked whether, the federal agencies, why they have delayed the, Sushant Singh Rajput case or the Disha Salian case. They are not bothered at all, but they are bothered about Pakistan. Wow. So that is the best thing coming from the judiciary. Now, what is CJI doing in China? Yes. And if CJI, if you find this very fishy, Shiv, if these people need any legal support, I'm sure ex-CJI's son, Chandrachud's son will go and support them, and stand for them, just like he did for Riya Chakravarti. This is the case, what's happening in India. Milburn says President Trump said something to the effect that no God would want barbaric behavior and killing of civilized people. Pramila says all over faiths have to unite to fight against this cult. And Rakesh Kumar, good evening, welcome, and always nice to see you. Now, moving on to other piece of news, something very good, friends, is that I'm sure you'll be happy to hear this, also coming from the Supreme Court, is that the Supreme Court on Monday called it an important concern. So let me just move on to the image. Just a second, friends. Okay. I told you, Minaji, yesterday, CJ. Yes, absolutely, Lena. Okay. So now the good news is that the Supreme Court on Monday called it an important concern and sought responses from the center and others on a plea seeking a ban on streaming of sexually explicit content on OTT and social media platforms. A bench of Justices B.R. Gawai and Augustine George Massey said it was either for the legislature or the executive to come out with measures to deal with the issue. This is not within our domain. As it is, there's a lot of allegation that we are encroaching upon the legislative and executive powers, Justice Gawai said in an apparent reference to recent attacks on the judiciary. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta appeared for the centre, said the government would not take it as an adversarial litigation. Kindly monitor here. We will come out with something which balances the freedom of speech while Article 19 is taken care of. Mehta said some of the contents were not only obscene but also perverse. Though some regulations in this regard were in existence, he said certain were in contemplation. So now, as you know, these are all references to serials like that of Ekta Kapoor and, all these other people like Shilpa Shetty's husband and so many more. Now, Ree says, entire Bollywood is not only about, yes, absolutely, all these negative factors come into the picture. Ree. Now, moving on to the next piece of news. Actor Sunil Shetty has spoken about the recent box office struggles of Bollywood films, questioning whether international movies are now dominating the Indian market. In an interview with ANI, Sunil Shetty shared his views on why many big Hindi films are failing at the box office. So let me just get his image. Okay, so I'm having a little bit of problem there. English films are running, he says. हमारे film आज 15 lakh का business नहीं कर रही है. Our films aren't doing business of 15 lakhs. So where did we go wrong? Have we allowed the international brands to come and steal the thunder from us? Have we allowed them to take away our business, he asked. He also pointed out to multiple issues affecting the industry, from expensive popcorn to the falling numbers of theatres across the country. Look, we will have to reduce the prices. If the price of popcorn is higher than the ticket price, then it will become very difficult. The number of theatres has to increase. The number of theatres has to multiply by 5. And reflecting on the past, he recalled how earlier producers were deeply involved in every part of the film. In our time, when a producer used to make his film, his life used to be tied to the film because he had to pay for it himself or take a loan to make it. For him, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday were make or break days. He also criticized the corporate culture that now dominates the film industry. And on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if you call a corporate house, they'll say, I'm out for the weekend. Our business is weekend business, said Sunil. Now, I would say that Sunil Shetty seems to be very dumb, because if he doesn't know that, a lot of the problems coming from this is that the fact is that content is below mediocre. They don't have stories. They don't have any content. Everything is a copy of a Hollywood movie. And then you're telling why Hollywood movies are doing so well. People would like to see the original movie. Why would they want to see a Sunil Shetty, what you say, plagiarized movie? Nobody wants to see it. Try to use your intelligence, Sunil Shetty, when you speak. You only seem to have muscles. Top side seems to be rather empty. So it's time that you exercise that area also, because let me time and again tell you that it is very important that reach out to the public and the kind of problems that they face in the world today. And if you do not address the issues through these movies with real content, nobody is going to watch your movies. And especially after the way all of you ignored Sushant Singh Rajput and Disha Salian cases, and you didn't even sympathize with him, things have turned against you. So you can't do anything, because after Sushant Singh Rajput died, the complete Bollywood, what you call trash can, was exposed, and all the maggots came out. And so there's no way that you can actually cleanse yourself. So even if you see all this, talks and all in this function called Waves, where Empuran Mohanlal and all these, so-called, actors who make anti-India movies, Deshdrahi movies, are coming to talk about content and whatnot, we would rather have intelligent people who are patriotic talking about our movie business and how it should relate to what is happening in reality. Now, Sanju says, previously, even if the cinema was boring, still Bollywood movies were hot. After SSR and Disha Salian, everybody understood everything. Public has decided to boycott Bollywood. Well said. Previously, even the movie is boring. Yes, absolutely. So, one more. Yeah, so I think you just repeated that. Yeah. So, very well said, Sanju. And I think that's very, very relevant what you said. Now, apparently, Shah Rukh Khan, as though this is something great, he's going to, do going to make his Hollywood debut. According to rumors, King Khan might appear in a future superhero movie set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Rumor has it that the conversations are in the preliminary stage, but specifics are still being kept under wraps. On the social media site, the account Marvel Leaks announced the news had verified that his possibly joining has nothing to do with Avengers. Now, Doomsday News rumor is that he's in talks with Marvel. So they say that it is just rumors, and they're just trying to create hype. SRK in the MCU would be insane, man. I need that. We need that, said some of his fans. Now, the Punjab and Haryana High Court has stayed notices issued to actors Ravina Tandon and Farah Khan. Apparently, among others, they've been asked to join the investigation in connection with an FIR registered by the Ajnala police in Amritsar on December 25th, 2019 for allegedly hurting religious sentiments. Others roped in the accused were comedian Bharti Singh, screenplay writer Abbas Ajij Dalal, and Frames Production Company Private Limited. 4 FIRs were registered against them in 2019-2020 at different places in Punjab for allegedly hurting religious sentiments. The first FIR was registered on December 25th, 2019 in Ajnala, and the Firozpur FIR was registered on December 28th, Gurdaspur FIR on December 30th, and Ropar FIR on January 3. As per one of the counsels, Abhinav Sood, Farah Khan hosted a show named Backbenchers in December that year, wherein she invited celebrities. Allegations were that during one such show, these accused persons hurt the religious sentiments of the Christian community. As per the pleas in High Court, filed seeking squashing of these FIRs, Ravina Tandon and Bharti Singh were asked to spell a word and to explain its meaning. While Ravina Tandon spelled it correctly, Bharti Singh misspelled it. It apparently meant that Bharti Singh did not know the word and was referring to another word in Hindi as per the plea. Now, moving on to the man in jail who romances from within the jail. We're talking about none other than conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. Now, he is in works at an OTT giant. Apparently, he's planning to make a documentary with the OTT people. Now, you know who OTT stands for. The makers are reportedly trying to rope in actor Jacqueline Fernandez for it, given her alleged proximity to Sukesh's crimes. The conman claims that Jacqueline is his girlfriend and continues to send her gifts, writing to her from inside the prison. Now, I find this really romantic, a prisoner and a con actress. According to a report on Midday, a source in the know-how said she is the only actor who can speak firsthand about what really went down. Her candor should make or break the storytelling. They're mapping out a narrative that's part psychological and part societal. Their plan is to juxtapose Sukesh's courtroom drama with his alleged methods like wiretapping, high-end bribes, and shadowy real estate deals. Has Jacqueline accepted it? The report says the actor is weighing the opportunity but is cautious about how her narrative will be framed. She has not yet said yes to the makers of the docu-series. The report adds that the makers are targeting to go on floors by mid-2026 after extensive research. The entire pre-production is being monitored by legal teams due to complex clearances and ongoing court cases. Now, Sukesh, an alleged conman, has been behind bars since 2015, facing charges of a massive multi-crore fraud. During the ED investigation into his crimes, a connection to Jacqueline emerged. He has claimed that he is dating the actor. A few pictures of the two together also emerged online following the claims. However, she has denied his claims, alleging that he deceived her into believing he was a legitimate businessman. Furthermore, she has accused Sukesh of using intimidatory tactics to threaten her, leaving her shaken and disturbed. The fact is that he just has to, wave a Louis Vuitton bag in front of her or a, expensive pony, and she will act in this docu-series. That is how, flexible this woman is. Welcome, Shruti. Always nice to see you. And Sanju says nobody accepted Emperor movie due to the subject it handled, whereas Mohanlal's new movie. See, they say it is a hit, Sanju. See, what happens is nobody is measuring the box office numbers. Now, Mohanlal says it, and then his millions of fans, who are paid, will also say the same thing. So, I will not trust Mohanlal. This man, again, the superstar has absolutely no shame, and he is not a patriot. So let us not even look at what these people say. And I'm not going to even see his movie because he has made us ashamed of the fact that, see, Kerala movies have gone to the dogs. Now, Leena says, even free popcorn won't pull people to watch trash and Indian agenda movies. Why should anyone waste their money to watch Hindus being insulted? Yes. And Ray says, SRK in Holland. Oh my gosh, this old man who is already boneless going to Holland. And she also says, Meena, one sec. Meena ma'am, if they're romantic, then we are losing fire on our. Yes. And Deepak says, these Bollywood celebs support Pakistan and terror, yet they want to remain in India for the freedom and democracy. Just थाली में खाते हैं, उसी में छेद करते हैं. These lines were suited to them. Yes, we should actually call Thali wali mami and say that, see, these words belong to her tribe. And when they talk about Pakistan, they ooze honey. That's how, how they love Pakistan. And it seems like they are blood sisters and blood brothers. So, with this, we end the session. Good night, Jai Hind, and Jai Shri Ram.